Welcome back to part 13 with me, the Gobby Gaffer, of this fantasy save where Manchester City have been dropped into the Championship. I've used the pre-game editor and all the big names have gone. I've taken the rich benefactor off there, so the finances are a little bit volatile. We don't have the likes of De Bruyne and Haaland anymore. And we played the Championship season with a bunch of EDS players, some loan players, one or two little signings here and there. Lovelace being a very, very good signing that I made as a centre forward and scored a lot of goals for us. But we ended up winning the Championship, which was fantastic. I didn't know how this save was going to go, but we did win the Championship. And, this is going to be our first season in the Premier League. Seeing as this is part 13, I don't think I'm going to show any football today. Could be very unlucky. But what we are going to do is, it's a transfer special. And my word, have I bought some players and moved some players out as well. I think in all my time playing Football Manager, this is the biggest overhaul I've ever had of a playing staff. And to be fair, you can't go into the Premier League with a load of EDS players. So I think I brought some very, very good players in. And, a very old face has come back into the fold. Any Manchester City fans out there, we brought Cancelo back. I think he's 35 years old now. But anyway, very, very good signing. He might not be that old, actually. But anyway, let's have a look what's been going on. So I'll just get my big head out of the way. And as you can see there, transfers out. Okeke went on a free. Seb Naylor went on a free. Carrington, Maskell, Charlie Gray all went on free transfers. And Mukasa has gone out on loan to Blackpool. Callum Slattery, who last season was very, very good for us in the Championship. He was surplus to requirements and went to West Brom, 2.9 million. So a nice little bit of money coming in. Answer has gone to Brighton, 675,000. You probably won't recognise some of these names because I didn't play them. But, therein lies the story. Players who weren't in my plans last season, will either get sent out on a free or sent out on loan or given away as a free. Keane Noble has gone out on loan to Morecambe. Pert Harris, if you remember, he was one of the players I did buy last season just to bolster the squad. Never really made an impact. Gone out on loan to Wrexham. Harrison Parker, Blackpool on loan. Reece Thomas Bolton on loan. Thomas Galvez, who did play a lot of football for us last season as a left wing back, he's gone out on loan to Bristol Rovers. And Wesley, the Brazilian right wing back that I brought in, he's gone to Ipswich on loan. So as you can see, being a little bit ruthless there, some of the players I bought last season have actually either been sold or moved on. Wesley came in, Brazilian right wing back, thought he was going to be great, got a long-term injury, didn't really see the best of him. But when you start looking at the Premier League, you do need to bring better players in. So let's have a look what we've done here. So David Zalazar from Talleres, 8 million up to 8.5 million. So he basically he's either footed, can play down that left-hand side. He's going to play on the left wing for me. Looks a half-decent player. He's only 3-star, but, like I say, the finances are, we'll have a look at the finances in a minute, the finances are a little volatile, so I can't be splashing the cash too much. So I think he'll do a decent job for us. Whether he's Premier League class, whether any of these players are Premier League class, I don't know. All remains to be seen, doesn't it? So I did identify a few positions that we were light in. Centre-back being one of them. A 6'3" lad comes in here. Thiago Jallo. Again, 3-star with a little bit of potential. He's 26 years old and he's got some very, very good stats, actually. I think he'll do all right for us. Came in on a free transfer, so not cost us any money other than wages. Another free transfer, 23-year-old. I'm not sure how you pronounce his Christian name, but it's Mariba, who will be known as Mariba. A central midfield player, comes in as a 2.5-star with some potential, could go up to 4-star. Got a lot of flair, very aggressive though, so we'll have to watch that with him. But through that middle, I think, we're picking up some decent players now to play in defence, defensive midfielder, and through the middle as a central midfielder. 26-year-old Darko Cherlinov. He's going to play, well, he can play left or right. I think primarily he will play right wing for me. And another free transfer. Again, a very determined player, this one, but very aggressive as well. But very agile. Physical's looking very, very good. So I think on that right-hand side, obviously we've still got Phil Foden. When I say obviously, I mean at the moment, it's the 8th of August, so we're keeping quiet about it. Hopefully, now we're back in the Premier League, Phil Foden will stay with us. I think we've got something like a 95 million. We've agreed 95 million with him if anybody comes in. Clubs are coming in, but they're not meeting the 95 million. So hopefully, we'll hit the ground running and at least get mid-table, and Phil Foden will decide to stay with us. We're getting some real good strength in depth now. Paid a little bit of money for this lad, 26-year-old Ozan Kabak, another centre-back, either-footed, so absolutely perfect. He's 6'2", and we paid 15.25 million for this lad, so we are spending a little bit of money, which is okay. I mean, like I say, we will have a look at the finances in a sec, but I think he's going to be one of my starting centre-backs. I was doing João Cancelo a little bit of a disservice there. He's not 35 years old. Of course he's not. He's only 32. Portuguese international, and he comes in with lots of experience. I always liked Cancelo when he was at City and watched him many, many times. A very, very skillful player. Unfortunately, him and Guardiola didn't get on, so he was moved out. Hopefully, he's not going to be a troublemaker in my team. But on that right-hand side, right wing-back, he can play left wing-back as well. But I think, primarily, he's going to be our starting right wing-back for the season. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he was on a free as well. Another free transfer, Ivan Ilic, central midfield player. This lad looks very, very good. 4-star player, stats looking absolutely brilliant. A very fit lad, natural fitness of 16 and 25 years old. And he's got a very, very good value now. Although sometimes values in Football Manager you can take with a pinch of salt. He's valued up to 63 million. I can pretty much guarantee if I put him on the transfer market today, we'd probably get offers of 20 million for him. So you do take it with a pinch of salt sometimes. But again, very, very good. He's going to be a starter, obviously. He's not going to be a bench player. A very, very good, solid player through the centre. Back to the centre-back position, very left-footed this lad, and it's Felipe Arelvas, 6'4" centre-back. So you would expect he's got a 17 for heading, a jumping reach of 16. But anticipation, bravery, work rate, I really do like work rate. Work rate and determination are kind of things I look for in any player, in any position. If they've got good work rate and good determination, then you can pretty much guarantee you've got somebody who's going to work really hard and be very determined. Who knew? Work rate and determination. But yeah, I think another very, very good centre-back. And like I say, strength in depth now is becoming a big thing for us. And yes, we did find the money for Jude Soon-Suk-Bell. He's coming, 35 million from Tottenham. He's our record signing. Paid a lot of money for this lad. Last season, when he came in, he was okay, but he was injured. So he didn't get the chances. I mean, obviously, Lovelace up top. We've still got Lovelace. So I think we've got two very, very good strikers now. It's just a case of whether the AI decides to do its usual buffoonery and injure either one or both of them, which it's very prone to doing, from not necessarily from time to time. It's usually a thing in Football Manager. Whenever you've got players that you think are going to enhance the team, it will injure them. Couple of loan players now coming up. Romeo Lavia on loan from Chelsea. 22-year-old ball-winning midfield player, and I don't think Romeo Lavia needs any introduction. Any football fans will know that he's a very, very good young player, and coming in for us, he will be a starter in the team. Got 4 stars of potential, and looks a very, very good player. And like I've just been saying about determination and work rate, he's got 16 for both, so he's my type of player. And the second player who's coming on loan from Bournemouth is Gerard Yepes, 23-year-old. He's a playmaker, but he can play as a defensive midfielder and an anchor. So he's got a marking of 12, tackling of 12. Maybe he's not going to be a starter, let's put it that way. Obviously, sometimes on the bench, you have to have B-class players, if you will. Your A-class players start. Your B-class, C-class players will be on the bench. And they can come on. You know, if you're 2 or 3-0 up with 70 minutes on the clock, you bring them on and give the likes of Romeo Lavia a rest. And I'm teaching you how to play football and how to manage football. I don't think I should be doing that, because if you're watching this, you're probably well into football anyway. Yeah, okay, let's move on to the next one. And the last one here is a 21 million signing from Monaco, Mohamed Kamara. Central midfield player. Again, a ball-winning midfield player, but very good work rate and determination again. Good vision. What's his passing like? 13. So I think this lad he'll be starting for us, and I think he can get his foot in, but he can also see a pass as well. So very, very important. And another lad that is coming in, he's not coming in till January though, Alan Rodriguez. Another central midfield player, can play on the right, can play right through the middle. So very, very good, versatile player. He's only 5'7", but work rate and determination 13 on this lad. But I think overall, I think his stats are very balanced. But I did make a little bit of a mistake on this one. He doesn't come in till January, so you won't see him for a good few months yet. The finances, we're 43 million in the red in the bank, so we do need to keep an eye on that. We have no transfer budget left. I think I've actually dropped it all into wage budget. So wage budget, we're doing okay now. We're under the wage budget limit, but we do need to keep an eye on this overall balance in the bank. We don't want that to be running too high into the red. Pre-season's not gone too bad. Not played too many games. About 5 there. Is that 5 games? First 2 games that you will see in the next episode are a home game against Tottenham and away game against West Ham. So they will definitely test this brand new team that I've put together. And let's face it more or less is a brand new team. If we have a look at the tactic, it's going to be something like this. I might switch it round. I'm playing with a ball-winning midfield player in a defensive situation because I kind of feel like Premier League, we need to be a little bit careful to begin with. On that screen there, I think Phil Foden is injured. There's 1 or 2 players on injuries and fitness, but Plazzari in goal. I'm not been able to come up with another goalkeeper as good or better than him. Doyle and Cancelo are going to be the wing backs. Jallo and Kabak there at centre back, so 2 brand new centre backs. Lavia, ball winning midfield player. In fact, there's a lot of new players in here. Mariba, Yepes and Lavia in the midfield there. But I have got, like I say, I've got really good strength in depth. Zalazar on that left-hand side. Oscar Bob, we know from last season, on the right. And Lovelace up top. But we have got Jude on the bench as well that we can bring on. We all know Jude Soon-Suk Bell from last season. Just having a quick look at the club vision. And we're within the wage budget. We're on course. Develop the best youth system in the world. Obviously, I failed that. Whether I would get sacked for that, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Obviously, I've used the pre-game editor to set this up. So I've tested it to a point, but I've not tested it past that point. So I'm never going to create the best youth system in the world as it stands now. I mean, Manchester City in the Premier League will be developing and maybe will have the best youth system in the world. City, without all the big stars and without the money, are not going to have that. So obviously that's something that I don't know whether I could have altered that in the pre-game editor. But anyway, we're failing that at the moment. But realistically, attempt to avoid relegation from the Premier Division. Be competitive in both of the cups in the English League. And as you can see in there as well, I have got 6 new staff members coming in. So I'm really trying to overhaul the staff. Let me just have a quick look at that. If you've ever watched any of my saves before, I like these bar charts to be top of the shop. At the moment, in the coaching team, it's not too far off. So maybe when those new staff members come in, then we might be. Although I don't need a set piece coach because I'm doing those myself. So maybe that won't give me the top rating on the bar chart. The scouting team, I have got 1 or 2 new scouts coming in. I don't need a loan manager and I don't need a technical director. Whether I sign them just to get that bar chart up, I don't know. I'm not sure whether that will affect the AI in the game. But not looking too bad. And like I say, I've got quite a few new staff members coming in. So a massive overhaul there of the playing staff. Obviously, these players are going to need some time to settle in. And we might see a few strange results early door. I don't know. You never know. They might all blend straight from the kickoff. And, we might end up winning our first 2 games. Do we think that's going to happen? No, me neither. But we can always hope, can't we? So, anyway, a little insight there. And obviously, FM25 now is delayed or cancelled till November. So, we're keeping going with this Manchester City save. And a transfer special there for you. We've got more or less a brand new squad. And added into that is going to be Etcheverry, Phil Foden, Oscar Bob, etc. So more or less a brand new squad coming in. So it's going to be quite exciting to see whether I've done a good job in the transfer market and brought some decent players in that can actually compete in the Premier League. Mid-table anybody for the end of the season, I would take that now. We'll see you very shortly. Tottenham and West Ham in the next episode.